Howdy, hello, welcome. Here to talk about 2022's top 100 songs. I had 155. It was tough to whittle this down. We're going through it big boom style. We're not cutting corners though. Man, there's every genre from A to Z. We're talking alt rock, we're talking funk, we're talking progressive rock, metalcore, funk soul, tribal music, post-punk, indie pop. Have I missed any genres? I mean, there's every single regular pop, emo. Shout out to my fellow emos out there. And I'm limiting it to one song per artist. So there's gonna be 100 different artists. It was tough. Let's spare me no more words. Are you ready to get into it? Let's reflect on the amazing bangers that happened in 2022. All right, what's the first song? Band that Fantano played on one of his live streams, and I was like, this is hilarious. And it's called Intro Past Trash by Susans. It's got these weird percussive post-punk hits. It's hilarious. It's fun punk. Then we have Young Lean FK Twigs with Bliss. It was like indie pop, dream pop done excellently. That sounds great, great vocal chemistry, and it has a lot of the boxes that I love about that genre. Then next we have The Soft Moon Hymn. Kind of sounds like a newer grime song, which I love, like maximalist techno music. The Soft Moon with Him, awesome. Umbrella by Himera. I remember this one. So this one was very much like Dan Deacon, if you're familiar with him. Also maximalist, also a producer who likes to draw out these amazing soundscapes out of the simplest sound. Like 30 pianos played with random notes. It's amazing. It's up there with Dan Deacon in my opinion. Then the Mountain Goats with Wage Wars, Get Rich, Die Handsome. Talked about this in the Albums of the Year video. So cool. They keep switching it up. Interesting switch ups that actually make sense. Great hook. Foals. They have nailed this sound with 2 a.m. So this still has a lot of the core components that I love about their older stuff, but the album they put out this year didn't mesmerize me. But that song was good. Then we have Titus Andronicus with We're Coming Back. Alt rock. That's just pleasant to listen to. I enjoyed that. Some of their other stuff, older stuff, way better, but this song by Frank Turner, Fatherless, it's almost ska. It's got this cool little upbeat thing going on. Pop punk a little bit. It doesn't overstay it to welcome. bbno Money with Mathematics. He's hilarious. This dude had me cracking up several times during this song. It's just, he's captured an aesthetic that I like. I'm not super thrilled with all of his music, but that's a standout one right there. Hilarious. Ooga Booga by Ski Mask, the Slump God. Also hilarious, playful, fun to listen to. Just a fun little rap cut. It was definitely a banger. Then you have Dana Rossen with Tangle. This one, out of all of the songs he put out this year, definitely a highlight. It's just so mesmerizing and takes you on this weird trip without being too high-minded. It's very down-to-earth and organic sounding too, which I love. Nailed that. EXUM with Anima. This is really cool. Wasn't on an album or anything, but really good sounding dream pop. Cut right to the chase and give you something that you can really feel. I love that. I love indie pop that makes you feel something. Great job. The band Caramel, they had this song We're Fine. So I wanted to shout them out because they put out some amazing, just sort of very background pastiche dream pop type stuff a couple years ago, and they disappeared and I was like, oh no, are they done? But this song is here and they're sounding amazing. Then you have this GoGo Penguin band. They're like post-rock or something. This song in particular is a little bit upbeat without being too over the top. It's not try hard. It's just really, really nice flow to that one. Then Rachel Chinouriri. I think Fantano shouted her out too. She was doing some amazing indie pop. And this sounds so cleanly produced. I was just so impressed with this song. All I ever asked. Incredibly catchy. Definitely check that one out. Someone I knew from work shouted Brakence out. I was not into this artist at all. And then this song popped into my world. Amazing. CBD. He takes some of the emotion that was in some of the old stuff and brings it into a context that makes more sense and less try hard. The rest of the album was mid, but that song was awesome. Stella Donnelly. What a great album too. Flood. That was one of my favorite songs, but this one, it's really cute. whoever's coming home to Stella Donnelly, and Stella Donnelly doing the spoken word bits about how was your day. And she just brings you into her world so interestingly and pure. And I love that about her artistry. She doesn't hold back. Amazing Australian singer. Blown away with all of her music. Soul Glow, Gold Chain Punk. Who gonna be my These guys are hilarious too. They go from punk to black metal to like indie rock to rap. This album, so good. Wormrot with the grindcore banger album that everybody was liking, it looked like. Behind Closed Doors is awesome too. They hit on something that is so physical, angsty in a way that'll knock your socks off if you're not familiar with them. It's S-tier grindcore for sure. Then you have this Eluveitie with Aidus. I heard this through like one of the Hellfest, videos. Really interesting, bringing a little bit of organic instrumentation and folk music into the metal world. Just clean cut, straightforward metal. Great though, really like that one. Demon Hunter, I listened to this band as a kid. They were on Solid State, some just little weird metal label. They're back and their new stuff has sucked. This one doesn't. This was impressive. Really nice long intro, and then it just hits you with some really cool head bobbing metal. Love that song. Meshuggah doesn't need a shout out from anybody. They're the gent gods, the metal lords. The Abysmal Eye is my favorite on the new album. New album wasn't like banger 10 out of 10, but when I put them on, they just captured that sound, that Meshuggah sound that I just haven't heard other bands do better. They're just the best at what they do. Respect. Another band that just, you press play and it immediately jumps out and tries to kill you. No Soul by Nylist. So good. Cool collab with Chelsea Grin, it looks like, and some other ones. Oceano. Cool album art too, trippy. But it's like extreme grindcore, sludgy death metal that doesn't mess around. I was impressed by that. I was also impressed with this band, the Dallas Cowboys. You've heard of the Dallas Cowboys, but have you heard of the Dallas Cowboys? Yeah, I've made that joke like 3 or 4 times. They go from folk, nice, pleasant music in 15 seconds to grindcore, then back to folk. And they do it in a way that is so convincing, and they're going to build up a reputation for that because they're pretty awesome. I'm shouting out Metallica. Yeah, I am. Lux AEterna. I vibed to this song. They hit on that same unrelenting metal sound that they did on just previous albums in the last decade or so. And I can just, when I hear this song, I can hear them in the room writing this, and how they actually brought the elements of the metal song together. They executed it well. Look forward to the album in 2023. Progressive death metal band that not a lot of people have heard of, Entheos. They're a lot like Ginger or Spirit Box, if you're familiar with them. Singer went through a terrible accident in the last year or so, but they're coming back, and they getting really excited for the new album because they've only had one other album, and it's so cool. It's so cool. Underrated. Definitely check them out if you're into death metal. North Lane. I'm also huge into some progressive metal like Tesseract. Didn't get any new Tesseract this year, unfortunately, but got some great North Lane, which kind of scratched that itch that I had for Tesseract. Super good. Conjurer. It Dwells. Great dynamics, great extreme metal. Kind of black metal and kind of nice and atmospheric. They do so many things well on this song. A song, that beautiful progression. Very few bands can do convincingly. Polyphia. Wasn't impressed with the new albums. I think it was too many elements, experimentation that didn't pan out. I mean, it happens. It's a miss. But then you have this one where all of a sudden they're switching it up to like acoustic, folksy tunes. Immaculate playing as always. Great job, Polyphia. Zeal and ardor with Death to the Holy. He's doing this blues vibe that translates to like metalcore breakdowns in a way I've never heard. Death to the Holy. So good. Let's switch it up. So we got some Father John Misty, an indie folk legend, but I mean, he's doing his best Frank Sinatra impression, really, on Funny Girl, and cinematic, and it feels like an old movie, and cool. I'm happy with it. I mean, it's no pure comedy album. Mr. Postman by Toro y Moi. That bass is funky. And also I relate because I received a lot of packages way later than they should have been delivered. He hit on something with that. Celeste, Hombre Artificial. Wanted to shout this band out. Very unknown underground. Believe they were on KXP or something though. Spanish band, dream pop in a really unique and flowing way. Not the best song they've ever done. Definitely like unbelievable how unique they are to me. They really stand out in a world of dream pop that a lot of it sounds the same. Some of their melodies are some of the best dream pop melodies. So I want to shout them out. SA20, this was a Fantano. Yeah, he played this on his channel. And I love how it's like this idea of convincing us both that we're gonna be okay, and it's like about to explode. Like all the instruments are like, oh no, like an airplane pilot panicking because everything is going wrong and the plane's about to crash. Captured something magical on that. Yeah, Be with All Right. This soul, funky chords, a vibe. Compliments up here, the way she sings up here really compliments how strong and held down it is on the low end. Great job. Dami and JD Beck with Mac DeMarco. Dami and JD Beck are like jazz fusion legends, prolific, technically gifted. But then you have Mac DeMarco, who's maybe not as much, and their chemistry is so cute. I love that song. Two Shrimps. That's such a cute title. Come on, that's cute. Nidafayanya with Midnight Sun. Such good indie pop. Guitar driven. Her voice is very, very recognizable, which I love too, because she tries to do something a little bit different, and it really does show. Amanda Shires with Hawk for the Dove. Jason Isbell's wife. He's a country singer. She's a country singer. She's like, they do like alternative country, progressive country. I mean, not progressive musically, but progressive thinking. I just love the imagery on this song, feeling of like, oh my goodness, something bad is about to happen. Oh, it's great, but it's country, so it's really cool and unique. Haim with Lost Track. Was hoping for some new Haim. I have the giantest crush on Alana Haim. Hi, Alana. You're amazing. You're hot. This track is so good. They hit on something with the lo-fi elements, with the little the melodies are so good. Shout out to Haim. Love you, Alana. Anais Mitchell with Bright Star. What an amazing songwriting, put you there in kind of in a spatial sense. Really well crafted indie folk song. Such a convincing and I really believe her voice, and that's important to me. Anais Mitchell. Shout out to the stuff she did with the Bon Iver and the National guy. Great job. Harry Styles. Shout out this little unknown underground artist named Harry Styles with the song Matilda. He really did this Ed Sheeran thing that takes it a little step further than what Ed Sheeran did in like 2014. Impressed. Really good songs on this album. And I've been talking about Harry Styles for a long time. Out of One Direction, because he's just my favorite post One Direction artist. I really think he's on the top for a reason. I'm gonna say it that way. Sticky Fingers with Where I'm From. Great indie rock, but really pop. It's just pop music. It's not really. It sounds kind of like indie rock and a little bit angsty, but it's got these amazing it feels like, like you're in church worshiping. You even go like this. I don't know why, but amazing Australian indie rock band. Valley Heart, another indie rock band. Underground, hadn't heard of them. Then I put this on. They do these dream pop elements, but with this really heavy undertones and storytelling. Impressed with that. Emery. Literally all I'm going to say about this song is they wrote this because they wanted to have a chorus that was, oh no, yeah, yeah. And they recorded it all in one take. Amazing. Maggie Rogers with Shatter. So I loved Alaska, that song she did, and that video of Pharrell going, She's back. New album was mid. This song was fire. It captures a just straightforward pop, but she does it in a way that brings you into her world. Again, convincing artists, true artists of our generation. Björk with Ancestress. Björk does this thing that makes you feel like you're a plant in the ground of this beautiful fungal world. Just like the album cover. Björk's amazing and has been for like 30 years or something ridiculous. Death Dynamic Shroud. This is like maximalist electro with these crazy like space invasion hits and like not just hearing electronic and thinking about electronic music. This is literally like an electrifying experience. Really good. This hell is better with you by Rina Sawayama. I was blown away with the Rina Sawayama stuff and the production she did with Clarence Clarity. Huge Clarence Clarity fan. Nonstop. Just good song after good song after good song. I need to go revisit the album too because I really didn't give it as much of a listen as I wanted to. Surprised more people haven't heard of her. Lights is back, guys. Lights was in the MySpace era of pop, indie pop, but also did really good electronic music that was catching the attention of very few people. But just kept working the Canadian music scene, and now she's back. Baby, I'm back with this amazing album, Pep, Prodigal Daughter. She says something about finding God by sitting naked at the pool. It's amazing. Crazy for trying. Jean Baptiste and Michael Bublé. What a dynamic duo for like the pop world of like people who like only shuffle Pandora playlists. But this is a good jazz song. It's really lighthearted, takes a step back and lets the feeling come out in the space and you feel like you're in the room and the storytelling's cute. Great job. All Them Witches. Every time I put this song on, I laugh. It's like some radio skit. Just listen to it. It's hilarious. All Them Witches is doing amazing like stoner rock, but not really stoner, like serious blues rock. Great stuff. Kiasmos shouted them out in the Vinyl Tag 2023 video. I miss Kiasmos. They haven't done a new album in like 6 years or something. Amazing. Minimalist techno. They did a remix here that really sounds like the old stuff that I loved. That was like my most listened to thing in 2022. Seriously, this was impressive and exciting to just see the name Kiasmos in a new remix. Great. Combo Chimpita La Perla. Amazing. It's like funk and happy and twangy and Spanish. Great. I could listen on repeat and cook any of their stuff. I'm going to butcher the name. Ubajayar and Message in a Hammer. Super fast-paced, upbeat, similar to the last track, but like even more impressive melody and hook. Really catchy. All right, we're getting into Kendrick Lamar. Everybody's talking about Kendrick this year. He made my top 50, but he didn't make my top 10. Just because I'm trying to leave space for some other artists. But this is a great tune. Die Hard by Kendrick Lamar. Featuring some great other artists too. It just makes me do like this every time I put it on. It's great. And the lyrics are great and really love-sick and torn. I don't know. I love it. I love beats that really just make you bob your head to it and vibe out in this kind of really like it feels important. Like the beat feels like this, we need this beat. This is what they did. Logic and Joey Valance and Bray. Tanika too. Sick beats, dude. Izzo, Monstrosity, and all these other artists. Careful what you wish for. This sounds like the amazing experimental electro tinged rap that I love. Shout out to my friend Alvin at Scaleless V. He does it so well. And this is basically that same vibe where you have these weird like industrial 9-inch nails things, weird switch ups, and then all of a sudden cool beats and cool raps. Yeah, it's great. Raw Poetic with A Mile in My Head. Another excellent beat, but they have these little spaces they do, and then like saxophones come in, and then the beat pulls back, and it's just a cool vibe, cool flow, excellently produced. Another excellently produced song, Dochi with Crazy. It is so fun and empowering. It's almost like what I love about screamo music mixed with what I love about funk and soul music. Excellent. Jid with Can't Punk Me. Pull out the punk, can't punk me. The beat is so tight. A lot of people's album of the year. Instantly blew me away. So talented. What on earth? I'm going to move him above this one. I don't know why. Because this is another rap song that's good, but it's not as good as that. I'm making a little amendment here. So that's 40. Here's 41. Run. I'm not huge into like this type of music, but it makes me do this. I nailed it. Run the bands up. Run the bands up. Run the bands up. Run the bands up. All right. Number 39 with a cool soul band, funk band from my hometown, Birmingham, Alabama, St. Paul and the Broken Bones with the song Minotaur. Concept where funk and soul music meets psychedelic, meets space music, meets indie, blues. What on earth? They're so cool. What a cool band. And another cool band, I like them, Yard Act. Some people are giving them crap. They're a UK post-punk band, but It Appears I Have Become Rich is in the way they do it is so convincing. Very memorable. One of the most memorable songs of this entire playlist. Fontaine's DC, a lot of people's album of the year as well. Jackie down the line. I keep going back to this one. They're just cool. Cool guys. They're doing cool post-punk music. As a whole, I prefer Dog Girl, which is an album about Irish poetry of the working class. Really interesting album. A lot of people were giving that high marks when it came out a couple years back. And they're giving this one high marks too, which is deserved. These guys definitely are deserved of that. Metal band Creator with Hate is the violence of our time or whatever. So cool. I'm not like super crate digger when it comes to metal. I only know like big names. I don't know what happened to me, but this song popped onto my radar. Probably Fantano. Wow. Empowering, gives me this feeling of, yes, let's do this. Let's burn everything down to the ground. Super great. Criterion with Poseidon. One of the catchiest metal choruses I've heard in years. Guy Rob Chapman of Chapman Guitars. He's a YouTuber person. Hilarious guy. He's been in metal bands that I've loved. He's in another metal band that's excellent. Check out Criterion. Devil Wears Prada with Watchtower. The Devil Wears Prada is coming back in a way that's turning people's heads. And this is another one that's just like, gives me chills. It's so good. One of my favorite metalcore bands ever. For sure. Another one of my favorite metalcore bands. Yeah, probably my favorite metalcore band of all time, Under Oath. They're back in 2022. They came back with an album, Voyeurist. Really cool theme about how we are observers in a weird society with all these confusing and chaotic things. But they're nailing it with the metalcore. This is the one that stuck with me the most, but this album is banger after banger. They're not just doing metalcore, they're doing it for the masses. They're back in a big way. Another band that literally could go toe-to-toe with any other metalcore band, Norma Jean. So I found this out too. You ever heard of Stranger Things? Vecna from the new seasons. The actor listens to Norma Jean before he goes to act. I didn't know that till recently. He loves Norma Jean. Toe-to-toe with any other metal band. Amazing sounding. It just gives you amazing chills and feels from start to finish. Chills and feels, well, chill out music. Roger Eno was my top artist of 2022. because I played this so much. Songwriting and song crafting skill of Roger Eno, Brian Eno's brother. Don't you hate it when people call people, oh yeah, it's so-and-so's brother or sister or family? It's like, Roger Eno's his own dude. He's just good at what he does. You don't need to compare him to other people, but truly S tier, 10 out of 10. The Smile. This one, I didn't like at first, but you know what it did do at first? It entranced me. And then I came back to it, and it keeps entrancing me. That's Panavision by The Smile. The most intricate, hypnotic, and Radiohead's written a lot of those, but, well, Tom York, but, yeah. I'm just hypnotic. I'm hypnotic thinking about it. All right, let's move on. Marbin with some amazing jazz fusion. I need to shout them out. They have some really cute album covers. They got a moose cover on one. This one has a zebra on it. Dirty Horse Part 2. They are doing some amazing, like, you remember like Santana from the 90s with like these cool like drumming and pop feels and Spanish flamenco and all this stuff, but then it does it in a way that's pop and friendly and fun. This band is so fun. Most fun jazz I've ever heard personally. Exciting. Makes me happy. The Comet is coming. Guys, The Comet is coming. Shouted these guys out in my albums of the year. The first song on the album, it's just such a great vibe. The way they capture the electronics, it almost feels like future dubstep, but chill. And then with a giant saxophone that's in your face and just fun and dancey. What a great band. And their album titles are always so good. Hyperdimensional Expansion Beam, Mystery of the Deep Life Force of the Universe, or whatever. Irreversible Entanglement. So if you're into like Kamasi Washington, this is a lesser known, basically like Kamasi Washington sound. Jazz fusion. But this one is more like spacey and like intricate freestyle. Excellent, down to earth, Irreversible Entanglements. The Mars Volta. I do love the Mars Volta. Elements of it, aspects of it, some of the time, not all the time. This is one that just I put on and it makes me instantly have chills and makes me want to do this. And he said when they captured this song, they were literally like, oh my goodness, yes. Because it does. When I've recorded so much music and been in the room with artists, and when you make something this good, it's like the music somehow leaves you and it doesn't become part of your music anymore. It becomes part of what people are going to experience. They really have captured that with Blacklight Shine. Good stuff. Black Midi with Welcome to Hell. These guys, they are, dude, I can't get over how funny they are, clever, how they tell the story of this guy named Bongo or something, and he actually just captures this hilarity and just wild experience. It's just so funny. That's definitely top 25, so we're breaking in the top 25. Here we go. Wilco with Cruel Country. I'm not going to say a lot about this. Wilco's been doing it since the 90s. Amazing. Just like Americana for Americans. Anthony Green had a rough go past year or two. He's back with a new band, LS Dunes, which is like a super group of like Thursday and Coheed and My Chemical Romance, and they're doing some amazing stuff too. We're going to get to them. But I Don't Want to Die Tonight. Really interesting to see him do the indie rock stuff that he did so well in like Circa Survive and take it into a thing where it's got some jazz horns and stuff in it. Great job. Weezer with I Want a Dog. This is one you can show your grandma and she'll think it's cute. What a great song. It's got like 4 different parts that are really interesting and just sweet. They're about a dog, but they're also about like an existential crisis, so there's also that. Weezer's album sucked this year in my opinion, but this song was awesome. Robot writes a love song. It really is the theme of this song by Pup. Great job, like capturing that sort of AI lyricism in a pop punk song that has really cool chord progressions. One of my favorite chord progressions. Sometimes I wish more pop punk was like this, that just kind of just was simple and hit the good stuff and got out of there. Another band that's very simple and melody focused, bbno. Really impressed with this band. It's one for the Zoomers. It's very like bedroom pop, but fun and really excellently produced bedroom pop. It really doesn't sound like bedroom pop, but it's still in that category of soundscapes. Amazing. So Tom Berlin with I Don't Know Who Needs to Hear This. Another example of a band doing something very simple. Sometimes all you need to do is sing your feelings. That's literally the lyric. This one stuck with me. And it's important that we just, and when we look at art, we just understand that this is just, just sneak in here. Did you need to tell me something? No. I didn't even hear you come up. I heard the thing beep. What was I saying? This just a simple, simply good indie folk song. Another indie folk, but more indie rock band, the band Pine Grove. They always kill it. What great songs they've brought to us. And they really capture this thing that kind of just sounds like them to me. I've heard people kind of do a similar Pine Grove vibe, or it kind of sounds old and it kind of sounds like this or that. But they never sound like Pine Grove to me. They stand out 100%. Phoebe Bridgers, artists of our generation, am I wrong? Sidelines. It's generation defining indie. It tugs on your heartstrings in a nice way. It really caught me off guard too. Like, it's not the traditional indie folk that she's done so much in the past. It really switches it up and kind of feels like watching the credits of your life roll by or something. It's moving how good Phoebe Bridgers. It's scary how good Phoebe Bridgers is. Another scary, not really scary, nothing to do with scary. Bonobo with an electronic, cool, dreamy, literally feels like that album cover vibe with Tides, with Jamila Woods. What a sweet voice, great chemistry. Bonobo been killing it for years. I love it when electronic artists capture a way to do it in a simple way, translates in headphones or speakers or in a loud festival or on your iPhone. It's great. Everything. I wasn't aware of this band until recently. This album was, but this song, wow. One of the best songs I've ever heard. Truly interesting, and I imagine an AI wrote the lyrics to this song. Jennifer's on her way home, but then she remembers her life is like a nightmare. Jennifer's crying in the kitchen. I don't know. It seems like the perspective of an AI or something. And it's really one of the most interesting songs I've heard in a long time. I'm gonna make you mine. Charli XCX. Wow. Like, stunning electronic music for the past, like, decade now, has it been? Yeah, this is one of the better ones she's ever done. Catchy in a way that's not annoying. Because it would be so easy to write that hook about being somebody's baby in a way that's annoying. She does it in a way that makes you want to dance. Great job, Charli. Regina Spektor with Up the Mountain. Regina Spektor has been writing some of the most amazing indie pop ballads and tunes and indie folk songs I've ever heard. Amazing voice. Really sweet and jazzy too at times. Really impressive vocal chops and pianist. She did something I've never heard her do on this, which was tell a story that gets progressively more entrancing as it goes on and doesn't let up, and then gets more and more orchestral and explosive. Unbelievable. She continues to be one of my favorite artists. 100 Gex. Looking forward to the new album coming out in 2023. Doritos and Fritos. This is wild. This is wild that this exists. This wild that no one has thought of this because it's such a simple idea. It's one of the catchiest pop tunes I've ever heard, and it's totally anti-pop, and they would never play this on the radio. They're so creative. Amazing. Glass Age. I'm going to shout these guys out. Glass Age was another band that I loved in the 2000s, got to meet him, friends with a guitarist. They ended up breaking up. Some stuff happens and they did a switcheroo. Now he's in this band Glass Age with Separateness. It's indie rock like The Killers, but it's done, in my opinion, better than. I'm just going to put it that way. Another band I like, Anne Berlin. I'm biased because they're like my favorite band of all time. You may not love this, but it's in my top 10. We're breaking through the top 10. Imagine this. Imagine a band you love, okay? And they change their sound every year or two, every album or two, right? And then they have all these different sounds, and you're like, I like this era and I like that era. Anne Berlin took all of those and put them into one song. And they're back. They broke up for 7 years and they're back. Yeah, it hits me in the feels. Caroline Polachek with Welcome to My Island. I didn't hear this till a few days ago, like the end of the year, because it just came out at the end of the year. And I was always like, cool, Caroline Polachek, whatever. No. Very much looking forward to this album. I can hear this in so many places and crossing so many cultural divides and boundaries. Something magical with this song. Can't quite put my finger on it too. Awesome. One of the best jazz guitarists of all time. I believe I can say that now because this is so intricate and pleasant. The way he does his voicings of notes are all so accurate and intentional. Julian Lage he's one for the ages. This whole album is great. He keeps doing stuff like this year after year after year after song. An amazing trio too, jazz trio he does this with. It's simple too. It's not try hard. It's not trying to like, oh cool, play this for your friends, unless your friends are cool and like actually sit there and actually like focus on the music and not just like, oh wow, cool, sick beat, bro. Like this is, I mean, I want to listen to this when I'm 345 years old and my brain's in an AI machine and all I can do is listen to music. Just give me some great jazz music. And you can quote me on that. Next one, Jack White with Fear the Dawn. Wow, speaking of being 300 years old, Jack White feels like songs that we're going to be talking about in 300 years. Not because they're like something you've never heard or something that's like completely outlandish. It's just that people will be talking about this guy for 300 years because he's revolutionized the way we think about and listen to music. And I could go on and on. Fear the Dawn captured it for me though, because it was soulful and iconic. It didn't just try to be iconic. It just is. It's everything I hoped it would be. Another band that is turning out to be everything I'd hoped they'd be, except for some mixing choices. Not the world's most perfect mix, but I still think it's a perfect album. This song blew me away. Cutting edge emo punk that translates to a pop audience. Yeah, one of my top albums of the year. They're a supergroup. It's Anthony Green from Circus Survive and Seosin, My Chemical Romance guitarist, Thursday drummer and bassist, and Coheed and Camber's guitarist. Unbelievable how good LS Dunes is going to be. People are going to be talking about him this year and probably next year. So look out for that. Another band that people have been talking about and will be talking about is Black Country New Road. What a great album that's really emotional and hits all the feels for all the people. And it's shown because it literally has made the top list of so many people. This song did it for me because I've always wanted a band where the drums do something like this in the middle of a song. You know, you get like a cool drum solo, but it's never like a part of a song in a performance, in a setting, and in an album. They did it at the climax of the album. And the drums just go completely wild and free. And I wouldn't doubt if this was one take. It's such a metaphor for so many things. Black Country New Road with snow globes, especially the drum solo. My goodness. This song is moving to Big Thief with Simulation Swarm. Now, I said in a video that people weren't talking about this song, and I thought that was true. I was wrong. People weren't talking about it when it came out as much, but that's completely changed as seen by the stream numbers. And the fact that it's made so many year-end lists and the one people reference. It captures everything I like about Big Thief, her voice, the amazing recording quality. It feels like you can hear everything they captured in the recording. The soul, the spirit, actual physical instruments, and it's beautiful. Truly beautiful song by Big Thief. One for the ages. Coheed and Cambria, this was my album of the year, but I'm not putting it at the top just for whatever reason. This song is like an album. I don't know how they did it. 8.5 minutes, and when I heard it the night it came out, I haven't stopped thinking about it. It's space rock, but that just doesn't encapsulate what we're talking about here. It does it on another level. Progressive rock doesn't capture it. Indie rock is all these labels I could put to try to describe it to you. It is truly like reading a whole comic book series, and that's what they do. Coheed and Cambria does the comics that go along with it. It's like a feature film in 8 minutes. What on earth? Like, who else is doing this to this degree and this frequently and this it's so good. Window of the Waking Mind. Album of the year for me. Orville Peck with Come On Baby Cry. This guy is someone I believe in. I hear his voice, and I think Johnny Cash, I think Elvis, I think the impact that so many of the artists 100 years ago, the impact they had, I think about the impact that Orville Peck can have. It's on another talent level. Why did I sleep on this guy for so long? Why did I wait to this song to come out for it to melt me and blow me away with how good Orville Peck is and how good he's doing it? I'm going to gush and sing this guy's praises all night. We can't do that. We got to talk about the #1 song. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with The Dripping Tap. Now, I could have picked, one of 5 albums full of music from this band, but I picked this one. This was, to me, like the moment the pandemic ended. I imagine this coming on. Everybody coming back together, everybody's partying, everybody's having a good time. We all made it. We're celebrating life. We're celebrating the joy of music and being a community. That's what King Gizzard did on this song for 18 minutes and 17 seconds. Just the King Gizzard fan base and, like I said, the community around music. And wow, here we are at the end of this journey of the top 100 songs of 2022. And there's no other pick I would put on the top of this list, but that doesn't mean that any of these other songs wouldn't easily be up there with these. It's just like doing these lists is a reminder that there's no shortage of good music out there. You just got to keep looking for it. You just got to keep talking to the right people, watching the right videos, and sticking around. Either way, and whatever you do, you need to keep on grooving your way. We'll see you soon.